Hey, this is Micah, the Happy Trekkers channel. Thanks for joining. This is just one small part of a longer video, so make sure you go to the description and click the link so you can watch the entire thing. I think you're going to enjoy it. Hey, this is Mike, and welcome back to the Happy Trekkers channel. Today we are talking to Leslie and Patrick Richard, who travel the country in their van down by the river. No, not really down by the river, but they do travel the world or the country in their van. And I am very interested to find out why that happened and how they live as a couple in a small space. So welcome to the video. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So obvious question first is, why are you living in a van?
Well, I saw a video, I think it was in like late 2016, and there was this couple who were in their mid-30s, and they had been traveling the world for like 7 years. And I was like working my butt off going like, how in the hell does anybody do this? And really the answer for them was they minimized their living expenses so that they could minimize how much income they had to that they had to earn. And it made a lot of sense to me. So that was kind of what kicked us off.
So that was, you said 2016, and you've been doing, and you started when? Let's put it that way.
Well, we started a little over a year ago. So there was a pretty big break between the idea generation. I think after I saw that video and got excited about it, it was about a 3-month process. Leslie and I talking to each other.
Uh-huh.
And the two big things that were I think the things that we had to resolve were what's this do to our like retirement plan?
Yeah,
because I'd be leaving a job that was, you know, making decent money and intentionally going to make a lot less. The second was just my career. I'd spent a lot of time and effort at, you know, getting to the point where I was in my career, and I'm at my age, I'm just hitting the point in time where it gets pretty lucrative.
right.
So it was a little bit tough to basically see, you know, what would be the next 10 years of salary, you know, and just saying, I'm going to just not go get that. I've done all this work to get there, and I'm just going to go, well, nope, I'll just leave it on the table. So that was, I think, the hard thing for me. What was the decision wise for you?
We intentionally moved to Jacksonville, and I really liked the community, and I really liked, you know, kind of found a little bit of a niche community with
Right.
really nice people, and I like the ocean a lot, like the warm weather.
Sure.
And so I think it was more of a social thing for me that was harder to leave.
So Leslie, were you sold on this idea right away, or do you have to be talked into it, or what?
I had to be talked into it. We watched a lot of videos, and we talked about, you know, what we really wanted out of life. And I think we were more focused on, you know, seeing and doing rather than just working for things.
Right. Yeah. So you were working, Patrick, at a company, and you gave up that job?
Yeah, well, I actually am still working for that company on part-time basis now.
Okay.
But yeah, when we made the decision, I actually gave notice, and I gave him 2 months notice because I had plenty of time. But yeah, I was going to quit, and then we had part of the reason it was so long between when we made the decision and when we got started was because financial reasons. I wanted to leave with 2 years worth of living expenses to give myself 2 years to figure out how to make money on the road.
Okay.
So that it took some time to accumulate what would be 2 years worth of living expenses. And it is overall probably a bit less expensive than when we were living at home. So it didn't need like a full year's salary to,
Right.
It's not living expenses. It's less than that. So,
Okay.
so that took some time. And then also, we have been saving for retirement. And I needed to look at that because during these like peak earning years, you can really put a lot in a retirement account. But
Right.
so I kind of looked out until, planned out till we're 95 years old and said, hey, with what we have, different scenarios, is this going to work? And we both were comfortable enough with the answer. So
Okay.
we decided to go for it.
Okay, so that's actually really good information. I mean, you can tell your engineering background come into play. You crunch the numbers, which is, it sounds romantic to just take that leap and just jump out into the wild blue yonder, but you didn't. You planned out the numbers properly and you made your decision based on that. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think we could. I don't think I could have quit that job because I actually liked the job. It's actually the best job I've had in my life. So
Wow.
I don't think I could have just quit the job unless I had a pretty high level of confidence that I wasn't I wasn't shooting myself in the foot. So
Right. Hey, I wanted to take a moment to let you know about our new book that just came out. It's a great travel journal. If you've been thinking about someplace you want to go, make sure you write it down in this journal. There's all kinds of spaces for places you want to visit, things you want to do. Those are the important kind of facts, and there's 101 different places to write that information down. I think you're going to love it as much as we do. It's available on Amazon right now. Thanks a lot. So you mentioned a little bit about it. So you said the living expenses, you're probably less than you were spending where you lived in Jacksonville. But the way you said it made me think it's not drastically less. This isn't a huge a reduction in spending for you. Is that right? Or am I misunderstanding what you meant?
I think, well, there's a couple ways I think you can do this lifestyle. The way that we're doing it, we are spending less money, but we had a fairly inexpensive house in Jacksonville.
Okay.
So our mortgage payment was pretty low.
Very low.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'd say our depending on how much we travel, but we're definitely spending more in gas. This vehicle uses more gas than the cars did.
Yeah.
So I kind of think of that as like our house payment.
Yeah,
So
well,
Especially since we got into California. It's like you cross the border and the gas prices.
it's through the roof.
the other thing that we spend a lot more on is internet service. So we've probably so I have to my work is now online. So I have to have a reliable signal. I have to attend meetings, and there's some tools I use that require an internet connection.
Okay.
So we have to have that. We started off with just our cell phones and it just wasn't working.
I can imagine.
The pandemic was in full swing.
Everything.
So you couldn't go to a coffee shop and get Wi-Fi or a library.
Libraries or all the places that van life people go to get internet, free internet. They're all closed.
Yes. I didn't think about that.
Wasn't just a problem for us. Everybody doing this lifestyle, I'm sure, had that trouble.
Stuck.
But right. it was important for us because I have to work. I mean, that's where my income comes from. So it's kind of the cost of doing business. So our internet cost went up 3x from what it used to be.
From home.
From cable modem bill is 3 times because we have AT&T service. We've got Verizon and a Verizon hotspot. And then I still have my Google Fi service. So we have a lot of different.
We're trying to cover all the bases.
A lot of different bases because, like today, the Verizon wasn't working for us and AT&T was. So it may, because we have that coverage, more than one service. It means that we can be in more places, and I can still do the work I have to do.
So that's really smart. Yeah, I hadn't thought of. I guess I don't know much about this lifestyle, so that's a really smart approach. Most people wouldn't think of having multiple systems and redundancy like that, where you can just, wherever you're at, you've got the stronger. So obviously we don't normally need that in our normal lives, but it's critical for you, right?
Right. Yeah. It's a constant need for us.
Well, and I think if you're, doing this lifestyle, in other people maybe doing a lifestyle would be able to go to a coffee shop or go to a library and still be able to, do work or create videos or whatever it is that they do to make a living. But since that wasn't an option for us, the only place we could really find was a brewery. And then that was like
then we're spending $60 a day on beer while we're doing our work.
It was really fun.
It's fun, but we actually saved money by paying for all these data plans instead of going to the breweries.
And we were so less productive. We got a good time.
Hey, I really hope you liked that video. Why not check out some of the other great videos on this channel? And in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every time we upload a new video. Thanks a lot and keep on trekking.